QODC connectors are frequently used in outdoor fiber deployment applications as they enable the connection of multiple fibers in a single hardened push-pull connector interface. This video provides an overview of how you can use the FiberCheck Sidewinder to inspect the fibers in various QODC connectors. I have two of the most common QODC connectors here, the QODC2 and the QODC12, and both of these, as you can see, utilize a plug and a socket configuration. So there's a dedicated side for each of these. This FiberCheck Sidewinder can be used to inspect both of these by use of dedicated tips. For each connector type, there is a dedicated plug and a socket interface. We'll go ahead and demonstrate how you attach that. First of all, you simply remove the existing tip that you have, and you would attach the new tip in place. It locks in there, and then you turn the collar in place. The next thing that you want to do is go into your FiberCheck Sidewinder menu system by tapping the screen, and the first option available says Connector Setup. You'll choose that, and in this case, since we're checking the QODC12s, these are ribbons, so we'll check that. And these are 12 by 1, which means it's a single array of 12. And then the last one, it says Select Tip. I'm using my default ribbon tips number 1, which works perfectly fine for me. And then I back out, and I'm ready to proceed with inspecting. Let's go ahead and inspect that QODC12. Okay, so to inspect the QODC12 connector here, all we do is attach the tip directly onto the connector, and you can see the fibers are all on the screen. I'll go ahead and press the button to get it autofocused to be optimized, and I press the test. What this does now is initiates the auto pass-fail analysis to scroll through all of those fibers according to the standard that you set in your profile, and it'll give you a pass-fail result. Now, looking through some of those, I did see there was a few on there that looked like failures, and sure enough, there are a few. As I can show you here, you can scroll through each individual fiber, and it'll give you the result of what passed and what failed, the green indicating acceptable, and the red indicating that those are unacceptable. All right, now we're ready to inspect the QODC2 connectors. To do this, the first thing that we want to do is go into our menu this time and make some changes. So we enter into connector setup as usual, but this time, what's different about the QODC2 connectors is rather than having a ferrule with multiple fibers on it, like other multi-fiber connectors, these connectors actually have two individual ferrules in there. So they're not the same as a normal ribbon connector. They're actually a standard single mode or multi-mode connector. So I'm going to scroll down until I find, in this case, it's a multi-mode. So I choose that, and it gives me this message. This is important. It says fiber type changed. What that means is it changed from a ribbon to a standard simplex style connector. It says finish connector setup, power down the device, change the tip, and then power the device up. That sounds good. So I finish my connector setup. I choose simplex. I'm going to do, now here in my select tips, there's a dedicated option here for the QODC2P and QODC2S. I added these in from the FiberCheck Pro software. For further instructions, you can see that video. I'll go ahead and select that tip, and now it takes me back to connector setup. I can back out. I'm going to power down the device at this point, and while that's powering down, I'll go ahead and change the tip. So I'm going to remove this tip, and add in the new QODC2-P. Get it firmly secure on there. And now I'll go ahead and power my device back up. And now this is ready to go ahead and start inspecting the pin side, the plug side here with the two ferrules. So I'll get this in place. And you can see my fiber. I'll get that in focus. I'll use manual focus here to get it close. and then I'll use the autofocus to get that optimized. And now I press the pass-fail analysis. Now this happens instantaneously because it doesn't have to scroll through a bunch of fibers. That one was very dirty. Now to inspect the other one, I rotate the connector 180 degrees. I press the autofocus button, and then I press the test button. And that one gives me a fail result as well. And that performs an auto analysis on both sides of that plug side. Now let's go ahead and change out the tip to be able to inspect the socket side of that QODC2. Okay, now we're ready to inspect the socket side of the QODC2. To do this, the first thing we want to do is change out to the appropriate tip. And then we enter into our menu once again with the connector setup. Much of this is the same. We'll choose the same profile again, the same connector, which is still simplex. But now, instead of QODC2-P as the tip, I want to scroll down and select QODC2-S. I select that, and I back out into my inspection view, and I'm ready to inspect. To do this, I attach the tip into the connector, initiate an autofocus, and then immediately go right into a test. It gives me a result because there was actually no other fibers to scroll besides that one. And now I'll go back live, initiate an autofocus on the other connector after rotating 180 degrees, initiate that test, and I get that result as well. And that is a recap of inspecting the QODC2 connectors using the FiberCheck Sidewinder.